All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. My name is Chung. I live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I have special guest come into my place today. He's also busy, and life is really busy. But I am very appreciated that you give me time and come to my page and share with my audience about the little bit life in general and about the business that we all get involved in. And this is Paulo. He from Vancouver, BC, right, Paulo?
Yeah, right.
And the reason I invite him on this page to share with audience, the purpose of it motivate and give other audience out there with opportunity. Don't live on fear. The purpose of it inspire others to. If you like to do something, give yourself the chance to go for it and opportunity to check things out. And Paulo from practitioners, and we don't know what this opportunity business online all about to lead him to this day. And I know that he been in business for a few years now, since went back in
Uh,
2017, I
yeah,
believe.
January 2017. That's correct.
Right. So
Yeah.
I let him on and introduce himself. The journey then can go on to the conversation. Welcome, Paulo.
Thank you, Chung, for having me. Hi, everyone. Yeah, Chung said I'm originally from Vancouver, but actually I grew up in Calgary. But I was born in the Philippines and then moved to Canada when I was 6 months old. And so Calgary was home for me for many, many years up until my early 20s. And then I moved away and was like the black sheep in the family, just moving to city and like traveling to other places. So yes, Chung mentioned my background's I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I graduated from the University of Calgary. I've been a nurse for over 18 years now. So I've nursed in Calgary at Foothills Hospital. I worked at the Tom Baker Cancer Center there, and then when I moved to Vancouver, I worked at Vancouver General Hospital, and then I worked at BC Cancer as well. And I've also dabbled in working in the pharmaceutical industry. So I worked for Bristol Myers for a couple of years, auditing clinical trials. And so that's sort of what I do now. But then I've also done a contract job. I took on a contract job as of last year because it's a project that I've been, quite interested in doing. I was in part of like taking part a couple of years ago was just kind of getting things going, but basically it's implementing a patient medical record system electronically for British Columbia because right now everything's all paper based. And so Alberta, when I did my training, was all electronic there. So it really was weird when I moved to Vancouver and everything was still on paper. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm a bit passionate with this project. It's a big, big project. I mean, it's trying to connect all hospitals and little centers together. So that's why I took it on. And so, yeah, I'm busy Monday to Fridays with this job, but it's been a great experience. Just sort of touch of that, what Chung mentioned about, getting over your fears of trying things. And this has been like it's not a real nursing job in a sense because like it's not direct patient care, but I'm learning about all these other different aspects of like what nursing has gotten me into. And the same way too, when I got from inpatient hospital into oncology clinical trials, like that was a big learning curve as well, but I took the risk. And so that's why I ended up doing this other big risk of starting my own online business on the side because I've burnt out in healthcare, and as many of you who are in healthcare, burnout is very prevalent, and
Yes.
I experienced it twice. The really severe one was what prompted me to quit nursing and go into pharmaceutical job, but it also caused me to actually develop a neuromuscular disorder, which I believe the stresses of working in healthcare triggered it. The physicians couldn't figure out what caused it, but I'm pretty confident it was the added stress that caused me to develop this disorder. And um,
Wow.
you know, I wish I journaled and videotaped it, but it was the lowest point in my life. At just before age 33, I was diagnosed with this rare neuromuscular disorder. I lost full control of my head movement. I couldn't,
Wow.
my head kept turning this way, but every 2 seconds, every 2 to 3 seconds, and every time I got frustrated, it pulled it even worse. And it was very aggressive that it actually pinched the nerve between my spine,
Wow.
caused me to lose ability of my motor and sensory function my right arm. So that was also a rare condition. And so I had two things happening at me at once at such a young age. And I lost full mobility. I couldn't dress myself, feed myself. And I actually had to have my mom come here from Calgary and take care of me. And
Oh, wow.
so this was just before I even started the business. You know, but at that point, after looking back, I think it was about a year after that I realized I'm like, I'm never going to let myself get to that point where, because at that time, all I can think of was instead of my health and getting better, I
Yeah.
was like, who's going to pay? Because I just moved into a new place too at that time. I'm like, who's going to pay the mortgage? I was with my partner at the time. Who's going to pay the bills? It was all finance related things that I was stressing about versus focusing on my health. And so I told myself, I'm not going to allow myself to get in that position and that I need to start looking for other streams of revenue in order to prevent that from happening. So yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I'm a lot stronger person. I've, physically, mentally, emotionally. But speaking of that fear, like, don't be afraid to try something different. Because if you're in sort of in a path that you are sort of not a path, but you're in a cycle where you're constantly doing the same thing, but the outcome is not what you're looking for. It's time for a change. It's time for you to step out of the box and take a risk. Because as many as you know, like with everything that happened in the last year and a half, most employers just look at you as a number. That's
Yeah.
what you're looked at, even though you've worked in a company for many years. I know a couple of people who lost their jobs, even though they worked for a company for 15 plus years, and just given a severance package, and that was it.
Yeah.
And like, what do you do when you're 50, 60 and this happens, or even in your 40s? I mean, what do you do? Like sometimes, like if that's all you really know in that career, then it's really challenging for somebody to move on. So you've got to take that step further and just be a few steps ahead in order to prevent this from actually ever happening to you. And so that's what we're hoping to do with, with the business that, with the automations that we're connected with, and to encourage people to look elsewhere, look in the online space. There are legitimate things in the online space. You just have to do your homework, do your due diligence, and you can find it. And obviously what we're connected to is very legitimate. I mean, I've been in this business for 4.5 years. And it's, when I started, there was just about 300 or so people in this business
Wow.
community. And so yeah, it started with local guys in Vancouver who created this whole business model. And then fast forward to now, we're over 30,000 people globally doing this business,
Wow.
you guys. Like, this is crazy with the amount of growth that we've had. And originally it was within just the North American bubble, but now we're basically in every continent. So we're quite international, and it's just growing, and it's just going to keep growing because it
Just
is
like
something.
the weeds.
Yeah, it is, exactly. Yeah. No, it really is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just amazing. You know what, Paulo? We haven't met live talking to each other before. We
Yeah.
in the community of the business, so we work together. We cheer for each other every success every day. But this is the first time I ever can have the opportunity to talk to you. I mean, I don't just sudden out of nowhere and call you up or just chit chat because it's quite a busy for our life. It's a health and financial, everything. We just go and go. And so this is opportunity for me to really not only you share uh, what your past, what you're challenging, your health, and but I also got to know you. That just amazing. It blew me away that how I would expect different. You know, I expected to think of you just like everybody else, looking for more potential, more financial time with family. You know, that's how the purpose of everyone got into this business, being your boss, so more time flexible for family. But you know what? You are a totally different story that I've been heard out there. That is totally amazing, and I'm so glad that you come to realize that and put the stop into it and get yourself back in track with your health is so important,
It
right?
is.
So important.
It's even
Wow.
it's even crucial now, Chung, because with that contract job that I'm doing now, we work from home. But a lot of people are working from home now, but they've never been taught how to work from home. And so I'm sure the burnout is
Yeah.
reaching a lot of people because
Yeah.
they don't know how to cut off
Yeah.
work versus
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's where
Exactly.
people really need to pay attention and see, is this the career path I want to continue doing? Because you know, I've worked for companies for many, public companies for many years, and so even though despite you work hard, you get overtime, but it doesn't really match your salary in the sense of things catching up with the cost of living going up too. And being here in Vancouver, the cost of
Right.
living is just skyrocketing every year.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's challenging. I don't know how a lot of people are able to survive in cities that have high cost of living, but it's tough. And so when you are with a job that doesn't really respect you in a sense of financial
Yeah.
respect, yeah, they
Yeah.
respect you that you work hard and you show up for work, but they don't respect you financially, then yeah, you have to start looking elsewhere. And a lot of the billionaires that are out there say that you need to find other streams of revenue, because if
Yeah.
one stream of revenue doesn't work, then you have all these other streams of revenue that are going to kick in and still help you keep moving forward.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. That's how I just about thinking, okay, you know what, Paula, he was that most of the time when people go into medical career, like nursing, doctors and all that, mind you that I have a lot of a client from because the hospital right just behind me. So I
Yeah.
have lots of nurse coming, I have doctors coming. So I thought, you know what, that's the salary that they do, but I can't imagine how war zoo right now in the hospital with all the COVIDs and things. So I heard it every day. They share with me how stressful. I can't imagine in my head. Um, you are the health service provider to rescue people, but come to yourself, you feel like, oh no, really, it causes stress. The stress is just everything. It can kill the human for sure, you know.
And that's
Yeah,
what I realized, Chung, over the years is that I have to be selfish for myself now, because I've put in 18 years of just giving and giving and giving, that
yeah, yeah,
now it's my turn.
yeah.
Because if
So
I
true.
yeah, because I want to, initially when I started this business, it was for the money initially, and to just have that. But now
Mhm.
it's more showing people that there is an out, showing people that
Yeah,
there is another opportunity out there that can, there is no financial stop of what you can earn. But I also I want to help my mom. My mom retired recently, like several years ago, separated from my dad. She
yeah,
was, really support, like she relied on him financially. And so with her retirement, she's just she's living day to day but not being able to enjoy it.
yeah.
And so I want to be able to provide for her, because she's provided for many years. I remember the sacrifices she made when we were growing up. I
Yes.
wanted
Yeah.
a PlayStation when me and my brother were kids, and she would work overtime for that. And so I want to get back to her and just allow her
Uh,
to enjoy. So and then be able to put money aside as well for my nieces and nephews as well. So when they get older,
wow.
I want them to be able to have like a good fun to either go to
Yeah.
school, but I don't want them to go to school. I actually want to go get them to do entrepreneurship.
Exactly. Yeah. It's okay to go to school, but if you learn, be smart at what you can do instead of work hard like uncle, I don't want you to go to school and work hard like me to be stressed out,
Yeah,
Just learn what I do and follow my step and I can help you through it. And it's so true, just like, Rich Dad put that Robert, he says same thing, like school don't teach you
yeah,
all of this, right? So learn from other experience, mistake, and all that. It's really helped you a lot.
it is.
Oh, give me a minute here. I got Sister Jolie.
Uh,
Yeah. For several minutes, and they come back.
I think my
You freeze.
yeah, did I freeze on your end?
Yeah, but that's okay. We can,
Okay,
that's just life. Moving on.
yeah. So yeah,
That's the way how it go. Yeah, and I just I like I said, the whole entire invite you into my page. I got like a all totally different perspective from you. I was thinking, ask a question like just everyone been asking, what motivating you in this, and most of the time you get financial and time and family and all that, but you are totally different thing. So for that matter, I learned so much from you, not on your health, but we have in common. And the matter of fact, I don't know, I haven't tell you or if your mom even say that, but I talked to her once. She texted me
yeah,
and I would talk to her once. Uh, but it's amazing that we all come from a different country, and we come to Canada, and we like to work and help out the family, and we feel look like what our parents give it to us so much.
yeah,
Not in this country that parent grow they have the job and career, and they have house, they have land, they have all kind of thing, and when they retire, the children inheriting. But for us, we don't have that.
yeah,
We just give back whatever our parents gave it to us. And I'm amazing that you have the same mind, and so do I. I have two my nieces. They come from Vietnam,
yeah,
schooling here in the international student. So you know what? I feel so good that I can help. But that doesn't mean I work so hard to help them. I have to take care of myself. I do believe if you like to help somebody, you have to really help yourself first and take care of yourself first. And I used to be exactly like you, just giving, giving, give it. Everyone asks, I say, okay, okay. And I feel like, oh, if I work one day, 5 days out of a week, not enough. 6 days out of a week's not enough. So I
yeah.
gotta work more. But you know what? We didn't realize that was stress level.
Hmm.
And so moving on, that I like to look for something other business out there that I can do without my body and my time have to be present.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure how you accidentally or you looking for or somebody introduced to
This.
you with this business. But did you really looking for something just like I just mentioned, or you just
Yeah.
by chance that
I was looking for something at that point. I just wasn't sure. I just knew that maybe something in online space, but even before that, like going into this business and then getting into the business community that we're in, we really teach a lot about sort of mindset and just what you put out there in the universe in a sense. And I, I was always like that even before I knew about the law of attraction and putting out in the universe. I always knew everything would work out and I was always optimistic, and I said things are, if something didn't happen the way I wanted to do, I just say no, something is going to good is going to happen. And so even before I did the online business, I knew I wanted to do something even with my name.
right?
So
Wow.
and so initially I thought maybe I can go into design, like clothing design, and create clothing and stuff for men, and I can use my name.
Yeah.
And then that didn't really pan out, and then so you know
Uh-oh.
oh, am I cutting out?
Yeah, it's just more like a robot talking right now. I'm talking to Paulo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that better? There's a storm coming through Vancouver, so it could just be the
Let me see. Okay, you go ahead, talk and see if it's happening.
Yeah, is that better, Chung? Is that a little bit better?
No, it's still not.
Let me
Whatever. Yeah, for whatever reason, it just getting really staticky and like a robot talking voice.
how about try that? Is that better?
No, it's still not.
Um, let's see here.
Technical, you know.
Hold on, you guys. Sorry. Yeah, there's a storm coming through Vancouver, so it could be
That's
because
awesome. I
that.
can hear a little better. Yeah,
Is that better?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just mentioning there's a storm coming through Vancouver, so that's
Oh,
probably what's causing the electrical or the
right,
issues.
right.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so if I'm sounding okay on your end, what I was saying before is that I was looking for something. I knew this is something I want to use something with my name, and so that's why on the bottom here you see juanpaulo.com. And so I've been using that as sort of my marketing sort of branding, and
yeah,
yeah, and I was introduced to this by the founder. Well, not introduced. It was just more like I came across their ad on
yeah,
social media. And so when I started seeing them, like I just followed them for a few months, but when I started seeing their successes, I was
yeah.
like, this is something that I want to jump into because it's in the online space. I don't have to, do any like have any overhead with like if I want to start an actual brick and mortar business.
Yes,
So I looked into it, and then from there, there wasn't a lot of things I knew about it. I mean, I knew a portion of what the whole business was about, but I was
yeah,
still trying to wrap my head around it before, like when I started.
yeah,
But I kind of look back at it now when I explain to people that, when I went into nursing school, if they disclosed to me everything that I was going to be doing after I graduated from nursing, I probably wouldn't have gone into nursing.
yeah.
So that's why, nursing is broken up into like, I was in a 4-year program, but at the very first year, they kind of just teach you the basics of what nursing is.
Yes,
And so that's what we do with our business, with letting people or telling people that they need to watch the informational webinar that's free, 90 minutes, so
yes,
that they can get a sort of a quick introduction of how it all works, and then create a foundation and be able to come up with questions that are related to the business model that we are trying to introduce
yes.
versus us trying to explain it to you in 5-10 minutes, which
True.
is impossible, and it will just cause more confusion and
Confusing. Yes,
yeah,
I
and
agree. Yes,
questions.
I
And
agree.
so yeah, so that's what I ended up doing. And then yeah, like I said, I didn't know much at the very beginning, but as you go into it and start doing the business and putting your hands in the training, then it just all naturally starts becoming something that you remember how to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, that's how I started. Like, how about you, Chung? Like, how did you start?
Well, I am very much the same as you. Before I got into this business, same thing. I worked 2-3 jobs all the time to get the end meet. I mean, I'm survive just fine, but I like to what I spend out, what I use on my own life, I like to have extra so I can help family as well.
Yeah,
So I came across the ad, but before that, I mean, everything and everything people introduce throws at me. I never say no. I always check it out opportunity.
yeah,
I was in a lot of different business, but again, all other business just like inventory and have to set up the party to introduce all the merchandise, the products, and
yeah,
it also annually fee, monthly fee. And you know what? I'm tend to forget a month gone by fast. It seemed like a year gone by even faster on me. And then I didn't really pay the membership. By
yeah,
the time I go in order the products on the website, I couldn't buy through, and they said my membership it's expired. So I said what? So so I couldn't. So I have to renew my membership. So and then in time I get so burned out, just like working in the salon. I was a manager full time for the company. I was hairstylist full time, more than full time. And
wow,
then I came home. I promised people during the day that after work I go to leave. delivery products. And
Yeah.
then I came home. It's sometimes work with the client with the hair. You can't have particular time to get out, and so it's late to go delivery. So I feel look like, I'm totally burned more than I looking for some potential. So when I come across the app, she now my coach,
Yeah.
and I just feel, this is exactly what I really, it's good for me. I don't know, yes, what the business are about, but all I heard it, no sell, no annual fee. You only pay $149 one time and that's it. And I
Yeah.
say, really? It's so good to be true, but I would like to check it out myself because, like you said, sometimes you hear somebody explain it to you, it's a little confuse you,
Yeah.
right? So I like to get into deeper and check it out. And I knew the business and potential for a long, long time. But I didn't really do anything because, I follow. I
Okay.
worried that the ad, if I don't catch it, when I need it, I couldn't find it. So I just grabbed the ad and I joined in and just leave it there. I just leave it there. When I need, I come back.
Yeah.
But went through the COVID and all that event start. And so my business got shut down 3 times.
Oh.
So where the money come from for me to pay facility? And I find that it just like it's crazy. Overhead, that's what, that will stress me out.
Yeah.
So this business here, I don't find like, it started out not a huge amount to start. I don't find that overhead, like, what we can handle. So
Mhm.
that's where I am, meet you and meet all other people and work
Well,
together. Yes.
that's awesome, and it's great that you are able to you have that experience as like a brick and mortar sort of business and having the online business.
Yeah.
So the how not easy but how much more manageable because
Yes.
it's in the online space.
Yeah.
And over the last couple years, our online business community has just been growing. Like I said, was not affected by COVID whatsoever, and so
Yeah.
and you can work anywhere in the world
Yes.
basically that has
Yeah.
a good Wi-Fi connection. And I was
Yeah.
able to do that last year. I don't know if you saw, but like I was down in Mexico from
I
November.
know. I love it. I love it. Yeah. It was
So
so
that's
awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
you can do it anywhere you want, basically.
Yeah.
And so this yeah, there is no restrictions
Yeah.
logistically, financially. So it really, yeah, it's a great opportunity if it's a fit for you,
Yeah.
because it really depends on your willingness to change, your willingness to
Yeah.
learn, and if you're ready for change.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's exactly when I saw you in Mexico, and you still like do the talk show. You still interview. You still I like say what? Okay, I like what Paul has.
yeah,
I really like what Paulo has. So
yeah,
I cheer you every picture you post and say, oh, it's a lovely. I want to go there someday. Even though I travel Mexico quite a few times, but I can't do what you do. I can't cut hair on the beach, and I have to, have to come back. Even though times you don't like it, you have still, still have to come back. But
yeah,
it's really amazing. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I just about asked you, the obstacle you went through, the challenging you went through, but I don't want to take whole lots of your time anymore. I really appreciate it that you come up to my page and share with every other people that your obstacle, your journey, why you're in the business, the reason why you're in business. I think in audience gain enough and come to realize, oh my goodness, maybe that's how I've been doing, but I didn't realize it, the stress level. So from you sharing that, I hope everybody, your audience, my audience, can hear that and give yourself a chance to look into your life. That if you stretch out, you're looking for something for enhance the life better for your health, better for family that you haven't find. So here is a chance that you to check it out,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. And Chung, before I go, I want to just mention this to people, and hopefully it will stick with them. And so, with the 10 plus years I worked in oncology clinical trials, I was really working closely with the gynecology patients. So those are patients with ovarian cancer, cervical, endometrial cancers. And I also did some gastrointestinal, so like all the rectal, colon cancers, esophageal cancers. What's the other one?
Wow.
Pancreatic. So the conversations I've had with them, a lot of it was, had to do with time. They wanted to have more time to
Yeah.
travel. They wanted to
Yeah.
have more time to spend with their family. They wanted to see their grandkids grow up. They want to see their kids get married.
Yeah.
And so time is something that we can't get back. So if you are, and I say this a lot in my business page, that a lot of people are not happy in their jobs. I know it because I talk to my friends and family, and all they do is complain about their work.
Yeah.
I know a lot of you who are probably watching this are exactly probably in the same boat.
Yeah.
So why are you have to ask yourself, why are you continuing staying on the path that you are unhappy with?
That's right.
You only have one life to live.
Yeah.
You need to, do you want like crappy quality time, or do you want really good quality of time?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not impossible to achieve this, because this is something that you can start on the side. It really is. Like, you put in you just have to schedule it into your schedule, because I was busy working full-time jobs during this time that I started, and so I scheduled it into my morning routine. I get up a bit earlier. I would do it at my breaks, and then when I'm done work, I would work on it too, and I'd be up maybe at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, or even midnight,
Yeah.
work on my business. Because at the beginning you do have to put in a bit of time, but once you're in the maintenance phase, it
Yeah.
only requires about 1 to 3 hours out of your day to run your business. And I don't think that's much, because if you actually take your full-time job out of that picture, and you only have
Oh
one
yeah. Yeah.
hours to work
Yeah.
working on my business, you
Yeah.
have all the other time to do whatever you want. So,
Yeah, exactly, right? Oh
so
yeah, sometimes I can just listen meeting, Zoom meeting with the community, and I do workout, I do yoga, and I just listen. I just leave aside and listen. So it's just amazing. But I can't cut hair and do yoga at the same time. Wow, unless I'm a miracle worker.
yeah, yeah, you can cut with your feet. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
But it's amazing, Paulo. I really appreciate very much that if we can sit here and talk about our business, we're all excited and all energy. It just never ends, right? But I really really appreciate your time,
yeah,
and I hope in the future sooner than later, then we can go back into it and we can share more with the audience that so they know we don't just talk today and we're gone for good.
yeah,
We will be here.
yeah.
We will be here.
I'd love to come back again too. So definitely.
Yeah, we will be here. So yeah, for those watching, thank you very much. And I will cut it short, and I let Paula go because he probably got a schedule for me and had a special guest schedule for himself. I don't want to delay. So for those who watching, thank you so much. And Paula and I wish you all have a wonderful evening, afternoon, or evening or morning wherever you are, and have a great health, and give yourself a chance to go to change your life and change whatever you stress out.
Yeah.
So it's it's all good, Paul. Do you
Yeah,
have anything else to say? A goodbye to audience, and then we can come back on another time.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me, and thank you all for if you're catching this live or watching the replay. Definitely check it out. There's nothing to lose. It's 90
yeah,
minutes of the time. If you
with
can,
it,
yeah,
with it,
it's worth it.
yeah,
Yeah.
with it, yeah.
Okay.
All
Bye.
right, yeah. Thank you. Bye, everyone.